The wind howled like a hungry wolf. Rain lashed against the hotel windows. Inside, David polished glasses, the warmth of the lobby a world away from the icy storm outside.
Sounding reflective, I saw them through the revolving door, a young mother, her eyes filled with despair, clutching a thin child. They huddled together, shivering, their threadbare clothes no match for the biting cold.
David's heart ached. He knew what it meant to be hungry, to feel invisible in a world of warmth and plenty. His own childhood had been etched with similar scenes, moments of quiet desperation etched into the edges of a bustling city.
Softly, I snuck them sandwiches once. I got fired for it.
He watched the mother whisper to the child, her voice lost to the wind. Shame flickered in her eyes, a silent plea for dignity in the face of despair.
Thoughtfully, my hand instinctively went to my apron pocket, fingers brushing against the warmth of a $20 bill. It was all I had left until payday.
His manager, a stern man with eyes like ice, materialized beside him.
Sternly. Back to work, David. No loitering.
David's heart hammered against his ribs. He knew the rules. No giving food to the homeless, no engaging, no acknowledging their existence. But tonight was different. Tonight, the icy rain mirrored the chill in his own heart. He made a choice. Ignoring his manager's glare, David gathered 2 plates of steaming food from the buffet, placing a generous portion of everything he could reach. He added 2 steaming cups of hot chocolate, his own treat for the evening. With a deep breath, he stepped out into the storm, the plates feeling heavy in his hands but his heart lighter than it had been in years.
Gently, excuse me, ma'am.
The woman looked up, her eyes wide with surprise.
Emotionally, please take this, it's the least I can do.
He saw tears welling up in her eyes as she gratefully accepted the food. Unbeknownst to David, a pair of keen eyes observed the scene from the shadows of the opulent hotel lobby. Mr. Hamilton, the hotel owner, had been searching for a specific kind of person, someone whose character shone brighter than polished silver. He'd found him. The next morning, David was summoned to Mr. Hamilton's office. Fear choked him. Had someone reported his act of defiance? He stood before the imposing mahogany desk, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Mr. Hamilton regarded him with a steady gaze.
David, I saw what you did last night.
David closed his eyes, bracing himself for the inevitable reprimand.
You understand that you broke the rules?
David nodded mutely, unable to meet his gaze, then a smile flickered across Mr. Hamilton's face.
David, you are exactly the kind of person I want managing this hotel.
David's head shot up, his mind reeling.
Sir?
He stammered, his voice barely a whisper. Mr. Hamilton gestured to a chair.
Sit down, son. Let me tell you about a little test I've been conducting.
He explained that he'd been observing his staff, looking for someone who embodied compassion and integrity. David's selfless act, his willingness to risk his job for a stranger, had proven him to be that person. Overwhelmed with emotion, David listened as Mr. Hamilton offered him the position of assistant manager, a role that came with a significant salary increase. David's story, whispered from guest to guest, became a beacon of hope within the grand hotel walls. It served as a constant reminder that true wealth wasn't measured in profits, but in the richness of the human spirit.
And as for the young mother and her child, they became regulars in the hotel restaurant, always greeted with a warm smile and a plate of David's finest food, a testament to the enduring power of kindness.